YouTube, it's Michael here, and a happy belated New Year to everyone out there. I hope that the new year, a new decade, 2020 goes well for everyone, and I'm excited for this year to be sharing lots more new videos. Now, over 2 months ago, November last year, I've got myself the new Yamaha PSR-SX900 Keyboard. Now, the PSR-SX900 was first launched on the 1st of August 2019. We didn't get our display model until September, and some stock of the SX900 didn't come until October, and then November there was a massive stock of PSR SX900s came in, and that was the time when I got my one. So yes, I've got my PSR SX900 on the 18th of November last year. So I've had mine for a little over 2 months now, and I am really enjoying it so far. Now, the SX900 is an absolutely fantastic keyboard. It's basically a compact or Mini Genos, which it's also known as. You see, you do get some sounds and styles from the Genos on this keyboard, and I must say, for what this keyboard is, I don't think it is far of it being of the same level of sound quality as the Genos. You know, it sounds that fantastic. Obviously the Genos will be, you know, it's a much better keyboard, but the SX900 is not far from being of the same level of sound quality. And for the price and for what it is, I absolutely love it. It's got the same operating system as the Genos. As you can see, it's got the touch screen here. The touch screen is not as big as the Genos, but it's of the same operating system. So yes, I'm really used to it because I own a Genos. So yes, on this video, I'll be doing a tutorial of the Yamaha PSR-SX900 keyboard. I won't be showing everything like I did. I won't be showing everything of the like SX900, because what you can do on the SX900 you can do on the Genos, but I'll be showing most things. Even if I did show it on my Genos tutorial, I'll be showing like the more important stuff that you need to know on the PSR-SX900. This will also help owners of the PSR-SX700 as well. Now, before I do a tutorial of this keyboard, here is a quick unboxing video of myself unboxing the SX900 on the day I bought it. Here we have the owner's manual. The mains adapter. And there's the music rest, which will be handy for my iPad when connecting this keyboard via Bluetooth. And there you have it. The new Yamaha PSR-SX900 keyboard. a great addition to my Genos, because this is basically a Mini Genos. Okay, so that was a quick unboxing video of myself unboxing my PSR-SX900 keyboard. Yes, I was very excited about taking it home that day, and when I got it out the box, yeah, I've been playing it for a few hours and had lots of fun on it. So right now I'm going to go through with you a tutorial of the Yamaha PSR-SX900 keyboard, so you can get to know the PSR-SX900. If you've got one yourself, or you're thinking about getting one. And this will also help people that have a PSR-SX900 as well. Thank you very much for watching, and hope you enjoy. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you of this tutorial of the Yamaha PSR-SX900 keyboard, and that's just the overlay of the keyboard itself. Yes, the SX900 is basically a compact or Mini Genos, as I said on my introduction of this video. And as you can see, we have a touchscreen exactly the same as the Genos, because it's of the same operating system as the Genos. But this is the first mid-range keyboard by Yamaha to have the touchscreen, as well as the PSR-SX900. So some things on this tutorial will help owners of the PSR-SX900 as well. Just a few things of the PSR-SX900. There are some features in which Genos didn't have, and one of them is the Chord Looper. But with the new firmware of the Genos now has Chord Looper with the new version 2.0, which was released November last year for the Genos. So Genos now has the Chord Looper. But back when it was launched, Genos didn't have Chord Looper. So yeah, I'll be showing Chord Looper. And also, for the first time on the Yamaha mid-range keyboard, we can now layer up to 3 voices for your right hand, which is really handy, well, especially handy for me. And this keyboard also has Bluetooth connectivity, which I will show you later on of this tutorial. And here we have the menu, which is exactly the same as the Genos. You can go through the menu in 3 ways. You can just, because there's 2 pages with the menu. Whoops. Yep, there's 2 pages with the menu. And we can either press the menu button here, and it will flip through menu 1 and menu 2 pages, or we could just press them like so, or we could just flip them like an iPad. And also on this keyboard you have little blue LED lights on the buttons, which I kind of think is better than the green buttons. So we go, and then here we have the just like on the Genos, you can brighten these lights as well, or you can make them dim. So let's just say that you're in a dark room. We can actually turn that up to its max. Notice how the lights get brighter. Oops. Or you can just do that. Yes, if you notice, the lights get brighter, and then when it goes to number 1, the lights are at their darkest. So let's just put that back to 2. So yeah, that's just a little overlay of the keyboard. Unlike the Genos, yes, you have the style and voice categories, but they have buttons, because on the Genos you didn't have buttons for the sounds and style categories, so you can flip through the different categories of styles and voices using these buttons. And just like on the Genos, you can also use the touchscreen to flip through categories. And the same thing goes to the voices. We have the categories of voices. Also, we can use the touchscreen to flip through categories. On the Genos, the touchscreen was the only way to flip through categories of sounds and styles. But on the SX900 we have the voice and style category buttons, as well as flipping through categories with the touchscreen. So yeah, that's just a quick overlay of the keyboard. It looks exactly like a Genos, except it doesn't have 76 keys, I'm afraid, and it's got built-in speakers, and it has the same screen / operating system. Although the screen is smaller than the Genos, but for what it is, it's an absolutely fantastic keyboard. So that is the overlay of the PSR-SX900. Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you is the favourites and search features. So first of all, we'll start with the voices. There are literally hundreds of voices here on the PSR-SX900, and sometimes it's hard to find that precise sound that you're looking for. So if there's a sound that you have been trying to find but you don't want to like forget where it is, what you can do is that you can favourite that sound, and in order to do that you hold down whatever sound you want to choose. So let's just say rock piano, for example, and then you hold the voice down on the screen, and then you can see that little let's see, there you go, hopefully you can see it. Oops, let's just go back to the piano. That's it. And if you can see on the screen, there's that little orange bar on the left, and that sound has been favorited. Let's do some more categories. So that's the rock piano. Oh no, sorry, that's the upright. Let's go through some other ones. So let's just say, take this organ sound. You just hold down the voice, and that voice has been favorited. We'll choose some more in this category. Let's find another sound. Let's just take this one, for instance. We want to favourite that, so we just hold down that, and that sound has now been favorited. So any sounds that you want easy access to, you hold it down, the sound is favorited. You hold it down, again, the sound is favorited. So we just do a few examples and some synth stuff as well. And let's just do some more. Let's take this marimba and this 80s pop kit. And as you favorited those sounds, there's a little star icon on the top of the screen there, and that's where your favorites are. We just go there, and all the sounds that you have favorited will be in that page. And in order to unfavorite the sound, all you do is hold down the voice, either in their located categories or in the favourite section. So there you go, I've unfavorited 3 sounds. We'll just go out of that and then come back to it, and there you go. Those sounds aren't there now because I've unfavorited them. So that's the favourite section, and you can do the same thing with the styles as well. We just favourite a style. There's nothing on there because nothing's been favorited. So we'll just take this one, for example, and then say this one and that one. We'll do some more. That's been favorited. Oh, sorry. There we go. So those styles that I've done have been favorited. We go to the favourite section, and there you go. The styles that I favorited are now in the favourites page. Again, in order to unfavorite styles, just the same way as the voices, you hold it down in either the favourites page or in their categories that they're in. as I've done it on the favourites. We just go back to that and go back to the favourites, and then as you can see, the styles are not there because I've unfavourited them. So that's the favourites feature. I mean, it's a good thing to have because there are literally hundreds of sounds and styles on the SX900. And another quickie, I believe you can also do the... Oh, no, sorry. I thought that you could do the same thing with the multipads, but I guess not. Never mind. Another thing that I want to show you now is the search feature. So you just go to the voices again. Let's just get out the favourites. There we go. Let's go back to the piano category, or any category for that matter. And there's a search icon just slightly on the top right of the screen. Now, if there's a sound that you want to find, like whether it's a piano, organ, synth, strings, or anything like that, but there's a sound that you're trying to find but can't because there's just so many sounds, you just search the sound that you're looking for. So let's just say if we take, say, strings, for example. Then press OK. And then any of the sounds that have like the name strings on it will be added to the search. It says on here the number of search results have exceeded the limit because there's only a certain amount that you can search. I figured that, there you go, up to 100 sounds or styles can be searched within the name search. So, okay, we'll just cancel that and go back to search. Oh no, it's still on there. Let's just clear that. And let's just say, let's take brass, for example. And then any sound with the name brass will come up on the search menu. Again, so many sounds with the brass, like it could be anything like the sounds which are in the brass category, or sounds with the name brass, like golden trumpet. Though that's not called brass, but it's in the brass category. Or, yep. And any synth sounds that are synth brass. And one more example. Let's just think of a different name that's not within those categories. Let's take, say, trance, for example. Oh. There you go, trance. Okay. And then any sound with the name trance will be added. Then we have bright pad trance, trance artist, trance bass, trance lead, and so on. And then let's go to the styles. We can do the same thing with the styles as well. So if there's a style you're looking for, we just press the search button. We can type in anything like the category of the style itself. So let's say pop. We press OK. And then we have any styles that are in the pop category or has the name pop on it will be added to the search. Right, there you go. 80s classic rock. Well, that's not pop, but it's in the pop and rock category. So, okay, let's just take another one, for example. We shall take, what shall we, instead of typing in a category like R&B, jazz, Latin, let's just take, say, a name. So how about party, for instance? Okay, then any style that has the word party on it will be added to the search. Here we have Latin party pop, Mallorca party, party anthem, party arena. So any styles with the name party will be added. Okay, so now I'm just going to do one more example with the favourite section. Let's just do another one. For example, let's just type in cool. There you go, cool. Okay, and then we have styles with the word cool in it added. So we got 70s cool ballad, cool 8-beat, cool bossa, cool R&B, cool swing, etc. So that's how you search for sounds and styles that you are struggling to find. So there you have it. That is the favourite section, in which you can favourite your sounds and styles that you really like or you're trying to find, and the search feature, in which you can use words and categories to search for sounds and styles you're looking for. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you is the assignable buttons. So there are altogether, there's 6 assignable buttons here, and there's one assignable button here and another assignable button here, which at default is the rotary button for organ sounds. So as you can see here, it says rotary SP/assignable. Now, as you can see, on the piano sound, so if I press that button here, because it's set to rotary, it will say on here on the screen disabled. Reason for that, because I'm not on an organ sound. So now I go into an organ sound. We can now use this button, which changes the rotary from slow to fast. So here's the normal, slow, and now fast. But we can also do that with the joystick here, the pitch bend / modulation joystick. Sorry, and as you can see, the button flashes. Well, the button turns red when I do that. But now we just turn that off. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So it. So yeah, that's the rotary SP/assignable by default. But you can assign it to whatever you want, really, along with these 6 buttons. So now I'm going to show that to you. Okay, so yes, here are the 6 assignable buttons here. Each button has something assigned to it by default. So button A is the half bar filling for styles, which you can turn on and off. And then we have B, which is fade in and out for the styles. So yeah, so as you can see, I'm playing the keys. But when I go and turn on a style and put it on standby, and then fade out again. So yeah, assignable button B is fade in out by default. Assignable button C is the metronome. You can turn the metronome on and off. Assignable button D, it takes you to the score page. Like if you was playing MIDI files, or if you was like writing your own songs. Assignable button E by default is new song lyrics, and assignable button F is registration bank info. So those are the defaults of these assignable buttons, but you can change them to your own assignable buttons. So for example, I'll just press direct access in any one of these 6 buttons, and here is the assignable menu, in which you can assign these buttons to different settings. So yeah, we have the rotary SP assignable here, which is the organ rotary slow/fast. But we can actually change that. Like we can change the, there you go, like you can change it into a, say, an articulation 1 or articulation 2. So let's just take articulation 1, for instance. And then we're going to choose a super articulation guitar sound. So I'll press the rotary SP assignable button. You get the body tap of the guitar. At the moment where the video is, you won't be able to see my finger press the button, but that's what I'm doing with the button that is the rotary SP/assignable. So it's a good thing that you can do that, because unlike the Genos, well, just like the Genos, the SX900 doesn't have the Art 1, Art 2 and Art 3 buttons. So it kind of works out the same way, really, except you just got that one button. So let's just go back to the menu. There we go. Let's just put that back to its defaults. Yeah, that's it. You just hold these down to get the default assignable setting. Now, for this example, I'm gonna use these 6 buttons and assign different things for every button. So we have half bar filling. So let's just show you that quickly. Half bar filling, which basically sort of halves the filling of the style. So let me just show you. So instead of 4 beats for the filling, you only get 2, hence the name half bar filling. So with these assignable buttons, I am going to change. I'm going to change each of these buttons into my own setting. So for example, we can do like shortcuts, voices, registration, live control, chord looper, style, and many more things. So for the assignable button A, I'm just going to go to select mixer. Now that's assigned as the mixer. So it just takes you straight to the mixing menu. Assignable button B, which is fade in out. Yeah, you can also change like how long it will take to fade in and out as well. And then for this one, we are going to go to, let's do another shortcut. So let's say lyrics, for example. Now for default for assignable C is metronome. We're going to change that. Maybe change it into, say, let's say multipad 1, for example. So when I press it, is actually the equivalent to if I was to press one of the multipad buttons. So right now I'm going to press multipad button 1, and assignable button C will be the same way of doing it. But that's only one multipad button. Oh, sorry, I just noticed that assignable button E is lyrics, so I'm going to change that and change it into another shortcut. Let's say vocal harmony. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to assignable button D. We're going to say, let's ending 3. For example, and E is by default lyrics. We're going to select it as channel on off, and then finally F, we have registration bank info by default. Let's just do, say, instead of doing a shortcut, let's just do something else. Let's do mono/poly, which changes the voices from polyphony to monophonic. So now that I've got these set up, so assignable button A is the mixer, B is vocal harmony, C is multi-pad button number 1. So it works exactly the same way as if I was to press button 1 on the multi-pad control. Assignable button D is ending 3 of the style. So I'm just going to play a style real quick, and then D will be the ending. Which will be exactly the same way as if I was to press this button here, ending 3. Assignable button E has been changed to the channel, where you can turn parts on and off with the style. And finally, F is where you can change the voices from polyphony to monophonic. Now for this example, I'm going to select a synth sound. So this is a let's do it again. Let's just do another sound. So that's polyphonic. And then we press this assignable button here, and now it's monophonic. Let's just do another sound. Not that one. There we go. Oh. So yeah, these are the 6 assignable buttons in which you can assign just about anything you want, really, when it comes to controls. There is another assign button here for the live control knobs here, which is what I'm going to be showing you next. And we have that assign. It's by default with the live control knobs. We have number 1 is filter and reverb, 2 is equalizer low and high gain, and 3 is style retrigger, on, off, and rate. So yes, right now I'm going to be showing you what you can do with the real-time control knob assign buttons. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the real-time control knob assign button. So by default we have 3 different settings for the assignable button for the live control. We have number 1, which is by default, which is the filter and reverb. And we just reset that. Oh, sorry. We reset that. And then number 2, we have the equalizer low and high gain. Reset those to its defaults. And finally, number 3, we have the style retrigger on and off rates, but as you can see, nothing's come up on there because a style is not being played at the moment. And we have style track mute A, which is actually quite handy. So I'm going to show you that quickly. So we're going to turn that right down. So all you're getting is the drums, and as you turn the knob up like so, then you get extra sounds added. Oh. And then we've got the bass, piano, guitar, and then synths and pads, and so on. So that's a pretty neat feature. That's that feature is also on the Genos as well. But on the SX900 you don't get as many real-time control knobs as you do on the Genos. You only have 2 on the SX900. On the Genos you have 6 including an extra little screen in which you can control the volumes and such with the control knobs as well. So yeah, now we're going to do the style retrigger on and off and rate. So I'll show it to you. So that's the style retrigger and style track mute. But with this assign button, we just press direct access to get easy access. Just go back. This goes takes us to the live control menu, and here we have the 3 different settings, but we can assign it to whatever we want. So knob 1 is default. Number 1 here. There we go. The default is filter and reverb. So we're going to change that. We are going to, let's see. Let's try a voice setting. I wonder what that's going to be like. Oh, cool. It basically tunes the sound. So we're going to keep that one, and then knob 2 is reverb by default, and we're going to, let's do, you could select it to no assign, but there'll be nothing, as you can see. So let's just get out of that, and let's do the, let's select that as pan. So hopefully you can pick up the audio, but when the pan is up to R63, then the sound is coming from the right speaker. Let's put it to L63, it's coming from the left hand side, and now it's in center, and now it's the right hand, left, right, left, center. And now we're going to do this one, 2, which is equalizer low and high gain by default. We're going to, let's see, yeah, so there's not as many choices as these buttons here. So let's say chorus. So we should have like a chorus effect. Let's try and find a sound that you can really recognize the chorus. So let's say no chorus, chorus. Okay, so let's go back to that, and we're going to cut off and resonance. So that's number 2 being assigned something different, and now number 3, which is originally style retrigger and style track. We're going to mixer, keyboard volume, and for the last one, we're going to go to let's try modulation plus. So now we got our settings assigned. So let's reset them. Let's just put that down. There we go. So now we've assigned everything we have assigned something to these buttons and the real-time control knobs. And earlier I've also done the rotary SP assignable button, which is now back in its defaults. So we got mixer, standard harmony, multipad 1, ending 3. Watch this button as it turns orange when I press the assignable D button. There you go. And then E is the channel on off. F is the switching between polyphony and monophonic. And as this assign, I've assigned for tuning. Oh, where's the sound gone? Sorry. Oh, where's the sound? Where did that go? Oh, because the keyboard volume was turned down. That's my bad. So number 1, we have the tuning. And pan pot for the second. And number 2, we have the chorus, resonance and cutoff. And finally, number 3, we have the keyboard volume for knob number 1. And knob number 2 is modulation plus. So there you have it, and that is the assignable buttons. There are 8 assignable buttons altogether, and that is how you can assign them into your own settings. Just one more thing, in order to get them into the defaults, having their default settings, you just hold these down and they're back to the default factory settings. And the same thing goes to this. We just put these back to defaults. So yeah, there you have it. And that is how you can change the assignable buttons to any of your own settings that you want, as well as the assignable button for the real-time control knobs too. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you, which is a little bit similar to the assignable button feature that I showed you, and that is these home shortcuts here. We have the voice part, chord looper, live control, assignable, channel, demo. So there's the voice part, chord looper, live control, which I've already shown, assignable, again I've shown that, channel on off. But you can also change those home shortcuts to other settings as well. So in order to do that, you just go to the assignable menu again, just like I showed you with the assignable buttons, and we go to home shortcuts on top here. So we're going to change those. So maybe have this one as, say, we're going to flip some of them over. So there's channel on off, or maybe we want to go chord looper and change that into, say, mixer. And home shortcut number 3 is live control. We're going to change that into, let's say, metronome. Assignable, home shortcut number 4, say style creator. And this one here is channel on off. Maybe have that as, let's see, song recording. And finally we have the demo shortcut. And let's just say master tune. So now the home shortcuts will be different. Now we got the channel on off, mixer, metronome, style creator, song recording and master tune. Those home shortcuts have now been changed to my own settings.
So we have the channel on off, mixer, metronome, in which we can also change the time signature. So yeah, let me just show you that real quick with the metronome. So we have the metronome, the bell sound, so we turn that on. So now that the bell sound is on, we can also change the time signature. Or so those are the different time signatures you can change with the metronome. Just put that to default. There we go. So I thought I'd show you that the metronome feature, and now we have the style creator, which takes us straight to the, like, if you want to create your own styles. I will be showing this later on in this video. And then we have song recording. Again, I'll be showing you this later on in this video. And then finally we have the master tune, which takes us to the master tune. We'll just press that, and now it takes us straight to the default tuning. So there you have it. That's how you can change home shortcuts to any of your own settings to get easy access. Again, just like the assignable buttons here, you just hold these. That's it, you hold these to get their default factory settings. So there you have it. And that is how you can change the home shortcuts into different settings that you choose. Okay, so here's the next thing that I want to show you. I've also showed this on the Genos as well, but I thought I'd show you this one as a quick one. And that is being able to play Mega Voices live. Now, on previous Tyros keyboards, you couldn't play Mega Voices live. They were restricted, like for style backings, you know, like the style channel. So, like for example, here we have the Mega Voice steel guitar for that channel of the style. So, in order to play Mega Voices live, we just go to the harmony section. So, just press direct access, which gives us easy access to the harmony menu, and then we're going to, yeah, we have all sorts of different harmonies and that, and arpeggiators, which another thing I want to show you actually, arpeggiators. So we're just going to go straight down to, yeah, basically it, being able to play Mega Voices live, it's the same as the arpeggiators. So now we got our, oh, I should have selected a sound first, so we're going to do that. So we select to Mega Voice, acoustic guitar, and let's just say steel acoustic pick. Now, as you can see, it has like different notes depending on the velocity you play it. Which is pretty impossible to play live. But if you press the harmony and go to the different, and then now the Mega Guitar arpeggiators is now turned on, we can now play it live. And we have all sorts of different arpeggiators. So you're hearing a Mega Voice being played live. Okay, let's do another example. This time we're going to do electric guitar, say clean guitar for example. No, actually, solid guitar, number 2. Go back to the harmony menu, and we're going to select on the arpeggiator mega guitar, and here we go. So yeah, with the mega guitar, mega voices can be played live, but I don't know if it will be the same with other different mega voices other than like the string sounds, the brass sounds, the vocals mega voices. As you can see, the category of arpeggio is mega guitar, so any of the mega voice guitars can be played live like that. But I don't think it will really work well for the mega voice strings or mega voice choir, for example. So that's the arpeggio mega guitar, in which you can play mega voices live. So yeah, on top of like our harmonies and echoes you have, we have like arpeggiators as well, just like on the Genos. I'm not sure exactly how many arpeggiator types there are on this keyboard, but yeah, there are lots. So we're going to do a synth sound, for example, because arpeggios with synth voices, to me, would be more better. But you can do things like pianos or electric piano, for example, and guitar, as you heard. So let's just select a sound. There we go. Let's do this one. Oh. So there you have it, and that is the arpeggio mega guitar, in which you can play mega voices live, but only on the guitar sounds, that is, as far as I know, and the different arpeggiator types as well for other voices. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you, as I said earlier on, this keyboard doesn't have a secondary screen like the Genos does, so that you can change like the volumes of like certain parts of styles or your voices and that. It's basically like the main thing where you can like mix the volume and do other things as well. But on this keyboard, you don't, yeah, as I said, you don't get the screen here like you do with the Genos. And so in order to go to the, there you go, you just press mixer equalizer, and this is where you can turn down the volumes of the voices and the styles. But as I showed earlier, if you had mixer on the home shortcut, you can gain easy access to that like that as well. So you just go to mixer equalizer, and you go to pan volume, and here's the volumes of the style. So this is where you can change the volume. So yeah, this is where you can change the volume for the styles and voices. So let's just press these. Oh, hang on. That's it. Just putting them back to default. You just hold down the number. That's it. The same thing goes to if I can find the I'm just trying to find the voice menu. So pan volume. It's just there we go. Panel. So there's the voice. So we can change the volume of this. Or you can change the multi-pad. There you go, I've got the multi-pad on. You can change the volume of that as well. Using this onboard mixer here. And you can also change the style as well. The style's volume, the main volume of the style. And we just press that number here. There we go. Get the default. So that's the way to turn up and down the volume of the sounds and styles or multipads, etc. on the SX900. Because on the Genos you have the secondary screen here in which you can do all of that. But you can also do it on the mixer with the Genos as well. So another thing with the mixer, where we can like change. This is where we can also change like our chorus effects and reverb effects. So this is where we can change the sounds of the reverb. So yeah, so and the same thing goes to the chorus. So and here we can change the chorus type as well. So yeah, there's just literally loads of different reverb and chorus types. So yeah, the reverb and chorus here on the mixer. This is where you can change the reverb and chorus, like sort of volume or density. So yeah, this is where you change the types as well. And here we have the effects, like insertion effects, which is delay. Let's just turn off the arpeggio. That's it. And the variation effect as well. And this is where we can change like equalizers. Oh. Not just for like the voices. You have like the right voice 1 2 3, left multipad and style, MIDI file, audio, and here we have the filter, which is like resonance and cutoff. But you can easily do that within these two real-time control knobs, which I showed you earlier. So let's just do that quickly anyway. And you can do the same thing with the, yeah, you can change like the effects of the styles. Let's see. Yeah. Style, yeah, there you go. effects. So you can do like this, different settings with the mixer, with the panel, style, multipad, song and master, with the filter, equalizer, effect, chorus / reverb, pan / volume. So there you have it. And that's how you get to the mixer of this keyboard to change like the sounds, effects, and turning up and down the volumes of the style parts and the main sounds as well. So show that quickly one more time. Let's go to volume. There you can change the volumes of the panel, style, the panel voices, style, and change reverb and chorus types of sounds and styles and songs. So yeah. So that is the mixer. That's how you get access to the mixer, in which you can change volumes and change effects. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you, and that is how to create and store registration memories. Now on the PSR-SX900 and 700 you have 8 registration memory buttons, so you can save up to 8 settings for each registration memory bank. On the Genos you had 10 registration memory buttons, so yeah, I wish this keyboard did have 10 registration memory buttons, then at least that way you can save more settings in one bank. So yes, I will show that to you. So what we do is that we change our sounds and styles that we want to set. So for this instance, I'm going to stick with the concert grand and strings here, but I'm going to change the, so there's the pad and the piano sound, sorry, the strings and the piano sound. But on the right 3, I want to change that into a pad sound. So take this one, for example. So now we've got 3 sounds. And then we want to select a style. So we choose this one, for example. Turn the complement on. And for this, we're going to select variation C. And put the sync start on. Once you're happy with your setting, you press the memory button. And any one of the 8 buttons, and that setting has been stored for you. But we want to add some more to our registration. So another example, we can, to make things easier, we can select one of the one-touch settings. So for this one, and we're going to select variation D. Again, once you're happy with your settings, press the memory button and any one of these 8 buttons. It doesn't just save like sounds and styles, it also saves like whatever multipad you choose. And if you tick the assignable button icon here, then it will also save anything you've changed within the assignable buttons. So now we got 2 registration memories saved with this sound and this sounds. So that's what we've got so far, and we can also choose, let's say, another sort of one-touch setting. So we choose this one. I've just turned the right voice 3 on, which is some sort of accordion sound, and we're going to select variation B. Once you're happy with everything, press memory, any one of the 8 buttons, and your settings has been saved. Now we're going to go through something else. We're going to go back to variation D, but this time we're going to select a different sound, not from the one-touch settings. So we're going to select, say, let's see. We'll choose that guitar sound. And what if you want to change your DSP effects? So go to voice part to do that. Press that icon, and this is where we can change different DSP effects. So let's say that I want to have let's Let's see what effects we get. So maybe if we want sort of a flanger. Or maybe something else. Let's go to Legacy. These are like the DSP effects from keyboards over the years. And I'm just going to try and find a wah effect. Just going to go through all of these until I find the effect that I want. For this example, I want to try and find a wah effect. There we go. So that's the DSP effect of that sound changed. And I've selected variation D. So once you're happy with everything, press memory, one of the 8 buttons, and there we go. That's our setting saved. So we got this, this, and this. So we play the style. There we go. So that is how you create and store your registration memories. Now, before you go any further, we are going to save that registration memory. So I know there's a registration memory of mine, but that's okay because just go to File and go to Save and give it a different name. Hold down to Delete, so that the it's completely empty for you to rename it something else. So I'm going to call this registration memory example, because this is an example on how you can create and store your registration memories. So there we go. Okay. And then that's our registration memory saved. So that is how you create and store registration memories. And another thing that I want to show, with the registration memory, the sounds that I've done, is that you can also save not only on the registration memories, but you can also save them as your own one-touch settings as well. But with the one-touch setting, as the preset one-touch settings has been changed to your own settings, you will have to save the style into the user section of the keyboard. So I'll show that to you. So we're going to select, let's just select this one. For this style, and we just press the memory button, and instead of pressing one of the 8 registration memory buttons, press one of the 4 one-touch setting buttons. So we're going to select one-touch setting button number 1. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to show you what it is. So this is it by default, and then we've got this one. We press memory number 1, and that's been saved. And it also gives you a notice on the keyboard. One touch setting data has been changed. If you select another style without executing the save operation, the data you changed will be lost. And it's telling you if you want to save. We won't save now because we're going to do some more. So we're going to do one touch setting number 3, which is originally this. We're going to select this one. And we're going to save that to number 3. So now that we got the one-touch settings changed that we want, we're going to save that style. So we're going to say yes, and we are going to save that style here. I'm also going to rename that style. The original style name is called US Folk Pop, but I'm going to change it into US Folk Pop OTS change. One touch setting change. Again, as an example on how you can change the preset One Touch settings into your own settings. So let me just show you that real quick. So this is the One Touch settings of the original style. And this is the One Touch settings of the same style, but has been changed. So I've changed number 1 and 3. So here's 1. That remains the same. And here's a different one. And number 4 remains the same. So there you have it. And that is how you create and store your registration memories to save your settings. And that is also how you can also change the preset One Touch settings into your own settings. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you in relation to the registration memories, and that is the registration sequence, in which you can use a foot pedal to toggle between these buttons. So I will show that to you. So sometimes you might find it hard when you're in the middle of playing a song and you don't have time to immediately press all these buttons at once, like. Well, you can also use your foot to use the foot pedal to toggle between the 8 registration memory buttons. So I'm going to show that to you. You can also do this on the Genos and even the Tyros keyboards as well. So we just go to my registration. We're going to go to menu, registration sequence, and this is where we can change these sequences to our pedal. So I'm just going to delete all of them and start anew. And also I'm going to be copying some registrations, so I'm going to copy that one over there, this one over there, so that we got all 8 buttons lit up. There we go. And now we can do our sequence with the pedal. For each bank of registration memory, you can have up to 30 different sequences within the pedal. So for this example, I'm going to press number 1. We're going to press insert, then 3. We press insert, then 2. Insert, and say 5. Insert, 3 again. Insert, 7. Insert, 6. And yeah, you just keep adding to your sequence. So we're going to do some more. So yeah, you can have up to 30, but I'm not going to do them all. I'm going to at least do half. So that's going to be our sequence. So in the order, we've done 1, 3, 2, 5, 3, 7, 6, 8, 2, 4, 2, 6, 1, 4, 2, 5, in that order. And then once you're happy with everything, your sequence, we're going to save that, which is basically our registration bank. We're going to save that. And there you go. That's our registration sequence saved. So what we're going to do now, just watch this. We got the foot pedal here, and I'm not pressing any of the buttons, but the buttons will change as I press the pedal. Notice there. And it's doing it by the order of the sequence. So yeah, so pretty straightforward stuff. So let me just show you an example. So you know, when I'm playing, that's it. You go when it's at the end of its sequence, you have to go to another registration and then go back, and that resets the sequence. So I will be playing whilst pressing the foot pedal with my foot to toggle these buttons. So there you have it, and that is how you make a registration memory sequence by going to the registration sequence, and you can have a sequence data in which you can use using your foot pedal. So let me just show you that one more time. I'll just change another one, there we go. And then if you can see on the top part of the screen, you can see the numbers change in the sequence. And it does it in the order of the sequence that I set to it. So yes, again, that is how you make a registration sequence in which you can toggle between the 8 registration memory buttons using a foot pedal. Okay, so now here's something quick that I want to show you, and this is something that the Genos didn't feature when it was first launched, and that is the style reset. Okay, so this button is tap tempo, so you can like change the tempo with the styles depending on how fast or slow you do it. So like, or yeah, that's it. You got it really fast and slow, or slow. We'll put that. So that's the tap tempo when the style's not being played, but when the style is being played, it will act as a tempo reset. So I'll show that to you. So basically the style resets itself. So it acts like that when the style's being played, and it acts like the tap tempo when the style isn't being played. I know that the style reset has been featured on, like, say, like Korg, for example. They've been doing it since the 90s, I believe. But I think this is something new to Yamaha, but I know it's not new technology. It's something that Korg has been doing for years. But we go to direct access, and we can also change the tap tempo. So at the moment the sound is on hi-hat closed, but we can change that. We can change that into, say, a low tom, or we can change that in, well, any of the drum sounds. So mid tom L, or we can change it to let's see, a Chinese cymbal, tambourine, And also on top of that, we can also change the volume as well. So now it's at its loudest. And also the sound. So there you go. And that is the tap tempo / style reset. So it acts as a tap tempo when the style isn't being played, and it acts as you're resetting the style when the style is being played. So that is the reset / tap tempo. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you, and that is like to get access to the GM&XG and GM2 voices. Now I've already showed you how to do that on the Genos, but I thought I'd show you on this as well, because as you can see on the sounds, we go to the sounds and we go to that little arrow there, and then we have our categories of voices like piano and e-piano, organ, guitar, strings, brass, synth, etc. And you notice that there isn't a folder for GM&XG and GM2 voices. And also, to add another thing, as well as the GM&XG and GM2 voices that I'm going to show you how to get access to, ever since the Tyros 3, ever since the Tyros 3, we have the legacy folder. Now, the legacy folder, this is where you can get access to the older sounds from previous keyboard models, such as like the Tyros 1, Tyros 2, PSR-SX900, 910, etc. You'll get the older sounds in the legacy folder here. So that's the legacy folder in which you can get access to the older sounds. So now, yes, as you can see, you can't get access to the GM&XG and GM2 voices via the sounds. However, you can get access to them by the style backings and MIDI files. So I'll show that to you quickly. So here's this style. And then I press any one of these style channels, go to the sounds, and immediately, there you go, you can see GM&XG and GM2 voices. So we can actually change the style channel to, say, one of the XG voices. Or GM2. So that's how you get, so you can revoice the style channels using using the GM&XG and GM2 voices. So you can get access to the GM&XG and GM2 voices that way, and also as well as MIDI files. So let's take this one for example. Go to channel, and we're going to change one of the sounds. So let's just take the harp sound, for instance. There we go. GM&XG and GM2. We can revoice the MIDI file channels using GM&XG and GM2 voices. So yes, you can revoice the styles and MIDI files using the GM&XG and GM2 voices, but you can't get access to them via the voice categories. But there is a way to get to the GM&XG and GM2 Voices and being able to play them on the PSR-SX900. So I'll show that to you. Okay, so I have a USB stick here. Basically what I did is that I took the GM&XG and GM2 Voices from a Tyros keyboard. Like I still got the GM&XG and GM2 Voices, which I took from my Tyros 4. I showed you how to do that on my second Genos tutorial. So I'm going to put the USB stick in the keyboard. So yeah, make sure you do that. Okay, so the USB device is connected. We go to User, USB 1, and there's my GM&XG and GM2 voice folders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy them over, and I'm going to copy them over to the User section of the keyboard. And there you go. There's the GM&XG and GM2 Voices, and now you can play them on the keyboard. So they're not just restricted to like style channels for revoicing and MIDI files. So this is the only way in which you can get to the GM&XG and GM2 Voices, by copying them from another Tyros keyboard or one of the older PSR-S keyboards. And then some GM2 Voices. So there you have it. And that is how you can get access to the GM&XG and GM2 Voices by copying them from one of the Tyros keyboards 1 to 5, or any of the PSR-S keyboards. So again, that's how you are able to get access to the GM&XG and GM2 Voices on the Yamaha PSR-SX900, and I believe it's the same also for the PSR-SX700. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you is the playlist feature. Now the playlist feature was first on the Genos, which replaces the Tyros Music Finder. But on the Genos, I showed you like how playlist works, and also I also showed you on the Genos that you can also add the Tyros Music Finder files into playlist. And basically you put a Tyros Music Finder file on the Genos or PSR-SX900, and it converts them into registrations. Well, you can do the same thing on the SX900. So, and I've already showed that on the Genos, so I won't show that because you can do exactly the same on the SX900. But what I will do is show you how to create your own playlist. That's something I haven't done on the Genos. So we just go to playlist, and there's the preset playlist that that is already factory built onto the keyboard. And now we want to add our own playlist. So we just press new. It says a new playlist will be created. Continue. We shall continue. And then what we can do is that we can add our registrations onto that playlist. There you go. You can see my registration memories there. That also gives you a rough idea of what songs I'll be uploading soon on YouTube. So we're going to select our registrations, and we're going to hit add to playlist. So all our stuff, all our registrations are added onto your very own playlist. So yes, as you can see, those are songs that I've learned on this keyboard, and they will be on YouTube soon, sometime next month. And now, once you're happy with everything, we're just going to save that playlist. We are going to save here. I'm just going to call this one, my song covers, but you can call your playlist anything you want. Just like on the Genos, I've learned a lot of 80s songs on the Genos. I decided to create a playlist with all the 80s songs that I've learnt, and I've called the playlist Back to the 80s. But for this example, I've saved my registration memories, and I'm going to save this playlist as my song covers. So there you go, and that's your playlist created. So there's the preset playlist, and this is the playlist we've created, which brings up the registrations that you saved on that playlist. So there you have it, and that is how you create your own playlist, so that you've got your song covers in one playlist that you can toggle with the song covers that you've done, or any registrations you've done for that matter. So again, that is how you create your own playlist. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you, and that is MIDI recording, quick and multi recording. So first of all, I'm going to show the MIDI quick recording. So we're going to do our setup, you know, our sounds and styles that we want to record. So we'll take that one for instance. So yeah, we'll take that, and then we go to menu, and then we're going to go to song recording, and from here we are going to select quick recording. And now the keyboard waits for us to start playing the keyboard, which is what I'm going to do now. And then once we're done, we can stop and we can play that back. Okay, and then once we're happy with our recording, we can save it. We just go to save here, and I'm going to call this one Q recording example. The Q means quick, as in a quick record example. So I'm just going to name my recording. So there you go, quick recording example, MIDI. Go to OK. And that's our song saved. There you go, quick recording example, MIDI. So there you go, and that is how you do MIDI quick recording. Okay, so now I'm going to show you MIDI recording multi, so you can do like multi recordings. So like you want to add some extra sounds or extra backings with your recording. So I'll show that to you, but first I'm going to select the sound and style that I want, because I'm going to do two examples. I'm going to do it with a style backing, and one of them to make your own song completely from scratch. So now we selected a style, and now we selected our sound, and then we're going to go to menu, and we're going to go to song recording, but this time go to MIDI multi recording. So here is our setting to create a MIDI multi-recording. So channels 9 to 16 are basically the rhythm styles, all the channels from the rhythm channels. And the other 8, well, one of them is the main voice, the right hand voice 1, 2 and 3, and 4 is left, and 5 to 8 are each of the multi-pad buttons. But you can alter that any way you want. So here's an example. So I'm going to start recording. So here we go. We're going to do our MIDI multi-recording. So that's that recorded. So we just play that back. So we'll stop that, and now we want to add something else. So with the recording, you hold. Yes, you press that on any one of the channels that are not recorded, and you can either choose it for right 1, left, right 2, right 3, or multi-pad, and for the rhythms as well. So you can do it any way, but yes, as I said, 1, 2 and 3 is right hand voice 1, 2 and 3. 4 is the left hand. 5 to 8 is the full multi-pads, and 9 to 16 are the rhythm backings if you're playing in a style, which is what I've done here. So we're just going to press this, and we're going to select right 1 again. So we're going to record something on right 1, and then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to we'll just stop that so that we can we're going to choose another sound. So maybe this time we'll select a electric guitar. Yes, that would do. And then we just do that. Hold, then press that icon. Right 1. And then we just press play to start recording. There we go, we got that recorded. So now we play that back. Okay, so now you get the idea, and I'm going to do one more example with the MIDI multi-recording when playing back a style. We're going to find another sound. Let's just find a sound. We're going to trying to find a. There we go. We're going to do a harp sound. We'll do that sound. We'll do that again. Right 1. Yeah. Oh. Hang on. What have I done? That's it, we need to do that, that's it. And then we play and start doing an extra backing. And now we've got that recorded, now we can play back our multi-recording. Okay, so now we got that our little multi-recording recorded using a style. So once you're happy with everything, we're just going to save that. We're going to call this one. What did I call the other one? Ah, yeah. So we're going to call this one multi-record example MIDI. Multi-record example MIDI. Okay. And there you go. Our song has been saved and we can play that back. So that's the this is the MIDI multi-record using a style. Okay, and now that we've recorded a song, a MIDI multi-recording using a style, but now we're not going to use a style. We are going to record a song completely from scratch. So we just go back to the menu. We go to song recording, multi-recording. And then we select new this time for a new song. We're not going to use any styles whatsoever. So first of all, what I'm going to do is record this one. It can be right 1 2 3 left or multi-pad, or it could be any of the rhythms, but we're not going to do the rhythms this time. So we're on the right one that we want, or not that sound. First of all, we are going to select a drum kit. So we're just going to find a drum kit. Sorry, just bear with me whilst I find a drum kit. Like maybe this. Yeah, we'll just take that one for instance. And we just press record. Oh, we better do the metronome. And we're going to put the tempo up. There we go. And we just press record. And start playing once you're ready. Okay, we got our first one recorded. And now we want to do the second channel. Yep, right, we're going to select right one. And we're going to select, this time, a bass sound. So... oh, I didn't mean to do that. But that's okay, we can just record that back. Before I record, I'm just going to... yeah, something like that. And then we're going to press record. Yep, select that one. And now the keyboard waits for us to play. And now we got our bass recorded. So now our backing sounds more like this. So we're basically adding to our song that we're going to record completely from scratch. So now we're going to, yep, that's it. We're going to select channel number 3. Before we record on that, we're going to find a sound that we want. So maybe... yeah, something like that. We're going to do a suitcase piano. Oh, so we're going to, yeah, right one. Then we're going to press play and start recording an extra backing. And now we've got that recorded. Okay, now we've got the drums, bass and the suitcase piano recorded. And now we're going to do a couple more examples. So we're going to select number 4 this time. Again, to make things easier, we're just going to select right one. Okay. What should we do this time? Maybe we should do, we'll do some strings. So maybe, let's see here, we're going to find a string sound. So, oh. Yeah. Okay, and then we just press that again, right one, then once you're ready, start playing. So we're just going to press start stop to start playing. Okay, now we got that recorded. We'll stop that. And now we're going to do something else. We're going to do one more example. So yes, out of the 5 tracks we're going to record, you can record a total of up to 16 with the onboard 16 track sequencer. So now what we're going to do, we're going to choose number 5 as our last example. We're not going to record yet. We're going to find a sound first. So maybe we'll choose a synth sound. We're just going to find which one. Yeah, we choose that sound. Okay, and then we just press record. Yep, select number 5, right one. and the keyboard waits for us to start playing. So here we go. And then press stop once you're... And here we go, 5 tracks recorded, and here's what it sounds like now. Okay, so that's all done, and once you're happy with your recording of making a completely new song from scratch without using any styles, just the onboard sounds from the keyboard, and we just go to save here, and we're going to call this one, what did we call the last one? We called that one multi-record example MIDI. We're going to call this one multi-record example MIDI 2. Because the first example was showing the style backings, and this one is showing on how to record a song completely from scratch. So we're going to call this one multi-record example MIDI 2. And there we go. So we have multi-record example MIDI, which I showed a style and adding extra backings. And here we have multi-recording example MIDI 2, in which we didn't use any style backings. We created something completely from scratch. So there you go, and that is the MIDI recording, multi-recording, in which I showed an example of the styles and making a new song completely from scratch. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the audio recording. So again, we're just going to do our setup. Let's see, what style? Right, we'll choose that style, for instance, and we'll choose... hang on, we're just going to choose a style. There we go, we'll choose a guitar sound. And then we go to menu, song recording. And exactly the same way we did the MIDI quick recording, but this time audio quick recording. Unfortunately, with the audio recording, you can't do multi-recording on this keyboard via audio. You can do that on the Genos, however. But this one, you can only do quick audio recording. So, to start recording, you tap the play pause. So we're going to do that now. And now it's started recording. and then we just press stop once we've finished recording. And from here you can, if you go to the menu, which I've just done, you can also change the audio format. You can change it into WAV or MP3 at 128, 256 or 320 kilobytes per second. So we're going, for this instance, we're going to select it as a WAV file. So we just play that back. Then once you're happy with it, we can change our storage priority, so we can change it to either our USB or user. But I think this has been saved onto the user. So there we go. That's our audio saved. It was automatically saved onto the user. What we're going to do now, we're just going to rename that. And we are going to call it audio record example. There we go. Audio record example. Okay. And then that's our audio track saved. Oh, sorry, wrong one. I pressed the MIDI. It was audio I was meant to do. So that's our audio, and if you want to either move it or copy it onto a USB stick, you can. Whenever you want to put it onto your computer, and then eventually put it on a CD, so that's possible. So there you go, and that is how you do an audio record. There's only audio quick record. There's no multi record for the audio on this keyboard, but there is audio multi record on the Genos and the Tyros keyboards. So altogether with the song recording, that is how you do MIDI quick recording, MIDI multi recording, and audio recording. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you is the style creator, in which you can create your very own styles, so you're not just restricted to the keyboard's built-in styles. So what we do is that we go to menu, menu page 2, and from here we go to style creator, and this is where we can create your own styles. So at the moment it's on like one of the built-in styles, because you can also change the built-in styles as well, but we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is that we're going to press initialize style, and there we go. as you can see, no buttons have lit up here except for main A. So now we can create our very own style. So first of all, what we're going to do is that we're going to change the pattern length to number 4, and we're going to change the tempo to 135. For this example, I am going to create a style for variation A and fill-in A. And I'm going to sort of do a modern dance style for a change. So we go to record channel. And as you can see, the drum parts is ready to be recorded. So what we're going to do is that I'm going to change that drum kit. So we're going to change it into this one. I'm going to change it into an EDM kit. And then we just turn on the metronome, sync start, and now the keyboard waits for us to start playing. So here we go. And now we've got that recorded. You can hear that it's not in perfect timing. So what we do is that we're going to quantize it, so it's in perfect timing. And we're going to quantize it into a 16th because that's the most common quantized setting. So, and then we're going to press execute. Oh, yeah. Sometimes it can be a bit. So if that happens, just delete your recording and start again. Sometimes it does go a bit funny with the quantize, but that's okay. All you do is just start over again. So we're going to do that again. There you go, it does sound better. And we're going to go quantize, execute. There you go, that's better. That's in perfect timing. And now what we're going to do, we are going to select bass. We're going to record a bass. So I'm going to select a synth bass. So how about a DX100 bass? So then once you're ready, metronome, sync start, and now the keyboard waits for us to start playing. Okay, so it's an octave higher, but that's okay. And we're just going to quantize that. And now we've got our drums and bass set up. And now we're going... Oh, and another thing about the bass is that sometimes when playing the bass, some notes might sound an octave higher in some chords. So to make the bass... So for best results, we should change the high key parameter to either E or E flat. So we do that via the SFF edit. We're going to go to high key note limit. And we're going to change the high key parameter. Well, it's already done it. It's either E or E flat, but it looks like it's already on there. So that's fine. And now we're going to select chord. So we're going to record our chord next. Select a sound. For this instance, there we go. We're going to select this sound. And then what we do, metronome, sync start. And now the keyboard waits for us to play. Yes, another thing, as you can hear that I wasn't playing it in C, I was playing it in E minor. When you're creating a style and you play it in E minor, that is the best result. You will hear that once the style is complete and you can start playing around with different chords. And now we're going to quantize that. Okay, that's in perfect timing. And also with the like the chord 1, chord 2 and pad channels, you need play it in E minor for the best result. And then we're going to go to SFF edit, and we're going to change the NTR parameter to root fixed. So it's on root transpose at the moment. We're going to change it into root fixed. And the NTT type, we'll leave it as it is because we want it as a chord. So NTR type, root fixed, NTT type, chord. So now we've done that, we're going to do one more for the main variation, variation A. We're going to record a pad sound. So we're going to find a pad sound. There we go, we're going to choose that one. Metronome, sync starts, and now the keyboard waits for us to start playing. And now we quantize that. And again, we're going to go to the SFF edit, and we're going to change the NTR type to root fixed and leave the NTT type as chord. And now that's our main variation A completed. And now we're going to go to basic again, and we are going to record a fill-in. So fill-in A. I also want to show you something with the fill-in recording, which I will show you after I do the drum bit. So we're going to change our drum kit. We're going to change it into this here EDM kit again. And then again, metronome, sync start, and now the keyboard waits for us to start playing. Channel edit, quantize. Okay, yep. That's in perfect timing. And now we're going to add something else for our fill-in. We're going to add something like, so I'll do that. Again, channel edit, quantize. There you go, perfect timing. Yes, thank goodness we have the quantize feature, because when you're creating the style yourself and playing the notes, it's not always going to be in perfect timing. So quantizing is a lifesaver on this keyboard. And now that we've done the drum bits for the fill-in, I want to show you something else. There was either, I'm not sure how many people on YouTube, but either 1 or 2 people on YouTube has asked me, how do you add a crash cymbal at the end of a fill-in? Well, to do that is, there's an easier way to do this than to try and do it yourself when recording it. So I'll show that to you. So we're going to go to Step Edit, and this is our drums. So the step edit is where we can like alter our notes and touch sensitivity. So in order to add a crash cymbal to at the end of the fill-in, the best way to do it is go to the last note, which is what I've done here, and then we're going to go to Insert, which basically, there you go, it just copied the last note, and just go to the notes here, and hopefully you can see, but whenever I press the keys, the notes change on the step edit. All you just got to do is hit the crash cymbal. So yes, and also to have the filling at the end. To have the crash cymbal play at the end of the filling. And also, the best way to do that is also As you can see here, those are the timers of the notes that are being played. We're going to change the time here. We're going to change that into 1900 or 1900. And now that I've done that, there we go. We just get out of step edit. And now we've got a crash cymbal added for the very end of the fill-in. So now it sounds like this. So that's how you add a crash cymbal at the very end of the fill-in. Now we're going to record our bass for the fill-in. We're going to do the exact thing as before, but as it's a fill-in, it's going to be shorter. So DX100 bass, metronome. Well, actually, you don't need a metronome. Now that we've got a drum part, we can keep in time. So here we go. We're going to channel edit, quantize, and that should be in time. And go to SFF edit, make sure the high key, yes, make sure that the high key parameter is set to either E or E flat, which it is. And now we're going to record our chord. Same thing as before. We're going to use this sound. Again, play it in E minor for the best result. Sync start and play away. Channel edit, quantize. And go back to record channel. Go to pad. Oh, hang on. What have I? Oh yes, I better not forget to do that. There you go. Root fixed, closed. I also want to go back to main A because I might have forgot to do that for the pad. You know, things like that is easy to forget sometimes. So SFF edit. Oh no, it's on root fix. So no, we've remembered that. So let's just go back to basic, fill in A, record channel. We're going to select a pad. Select a pad sound. Yep, it's exactly what I want. And we can start playing once you're ready. Channel edit, quantize. And then we're going to go to SFF edit and change the NTR parameter to root fixed and chord. But it's at chord anyway automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. So now we got our main fill-in. I'm sorry, we got our main variation. And fill-in A done. With added crash cymbal at the end of the fill-in. So once you're happy with everything, we just go to save. We're going to save here, and we are going to call it Style Creator Example. Style Creator Example, and OK. And now there's our newly created style. And now we can have some fun by playing different chords. So that's our style done. We've done variation A and fill-in A. Okay, so now the next bit for the style creator is that, as you can hear, some bits can be quite loud or some can be quiet. So before we save the style again with the same name, we're going to change the volume. So we're going to go to the mixer, and we're going to go and select the style, and there we go, we can change the volumes of the style parts. So here we go. When you do that, it automatically changes the volume of the fill-in. Okay, so we changed the volume of the parts we recorded. We just go back to Style Creator. Do nothing, just hit save. Save here, okay. Yes, the name already exists, but we want to continue. And now, if we go to another style and go back to our style, it should, there we go. Let's go back to that. And there we go. It saves the volume of each part we've altered. But what if I want the fill-in to have a somewhat different volume? So I think what we go to Style Creator, and we go to Mixer. And this is where we can change the volume. So let's make this one higher, and maybe make the drums higher. And perhaps make the pad higher. There we go. And then we just save it. Save here. Okay. So now, there we go. So the main variation is like that. And when I press fill in, the sliders change because I've changed the volume. And then from here we can also have like different effects. We can change our DSP effects of the style as well. So we have the variation effect and insertion effect, in which we can change. So let's see here. What shall we change? Oh yes, from here we can also change the parameters of the reverb. So we got the drums. Or the bass. But we can also change the reverb types. Yeah, we can change the reverb types. We can change the chorus types and the parameters of for each channel. Effect, we can change that. So there's that. Variation effect. So let's just try something. So I'll just try something here. So let's change bass. Alright. Oh, there you go. Go to variation effects and type in insertion, in which you can change each part into any DSP effect. Oh. So yeah, you can just like mess around with the variation effect, and you can add DSP parts as well for each channel. So there you go. So there we go. Change it into system. Then we got. There you go. So there you go. And then once you're happy with, we're going to choose tempo delay for that part, and we're going to go back to Style Creator, and we're not going to do anything. We're just going to save that. Save here. Okay. And yep. So now we've created our style, changed the volumes for the main A and fill in, and we've also changed a DSP effect on one of the parts. There we go. So there you have it. And that is the Style Creator, in which you can create your very own styles, and also the mixer to change the volumes for each part of the style. And you can also add different effects for each part as well. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you, and that is the Chord Looper, in which you can record your own different chord progressions. Now, the Chord Looper was something that was new in the PSR-SX900. The Genos didn't feature Chord Looper when it was first launched over 2 years ago, but now with the new firmware update, version 2.0 for Genos, the Genos now has Chord Looper. So now I'm going to show that to you, the Chord Looper. The Chord Looper is useful when you want to use two hands to play melodies on your right hand, whilst the Chord Looper does the rest with the styles via the chord progressions. So I'll show it to you. We just press direct access and go to Chord Looper, and from here we can record up to 8 different chord progressions per Chord Looper bank. So first of all, we're going to select a style before we do any of that. So we're going to choose this style. And then we just press record, and we start recording our chord progression. Okay, so now that we've done that, we just press memory. And it says select the Chord Looper memory number to memorize the data. So we're going to select that one as number 1. So now we got our chord progression saved. So we turn on the Chord Looper, and the chord progression I've done will automatically be memorized. And then we'll record, and we're going to add another chord progression. So we just press record again and start playing. Again, we press memory and press either 1 to 8 of the chord progression. So that's our second chord progression done. We'll play that back. And I'm going to do one more example of the chord looper. I'm going to record one more chord progression, although you can save up to 8 per chord looper bank. So we're going to start, oh sorry, then we're going to press record, there we go, of the chord looper. And then start playing when we're ready. And then we press memory, save it to number 3. And there you go. That's my other chord progression saved. Oh, we've got to play that back. There we go. And then once you're happy with your chord looper and chord progressions, we're going to go to save. As you can see, I've already done some chord progressions with chord looper for a couple of songs. We're going to go to save here, and we're going to call this one, we're going to call it chord looper example, because this is an example on how the chord looper works. Chord looper example, and now we're going to press OK, and that's our chord looper saved. So now with the chord looper, we can now yes, we can now use our 2 hands freely for the right hand. So here we go. So yeah, that's just an example. I know it's not perfect, but it's just an example that you can now use your 2 hands freely to do anything you want within the keyboard, whilst the chord looper plays back the chord progressions you recorded. And a good thing about chord looper is that it's not just restricted to that one rhythm. You can also choose any different style, and the chord looper will still remain the same. So just go back to the chord looper, change our chord progressions. So I chose a different style, same chord progressions. And we can also change the variations as well. So So there you go, and that is the chord looper feature, in which you can record up to 8 different chord progressions per chord looper bank, which is really useful when you want to use your 2 hands free to play melodies throughout the entire keyboard, while the chord looper plays back your recorded chord progressions. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to show you, and that is Bluetooth connectivity. Now this is something that the Genos doesn't feature. Now with the Bluetooth, you can connect any Bluetooth device such as your iPhone, Android, iPad or any other tablet, etc. So there's the there's my iPad. So there's my iPad. And then what we do is that we go to the menu on the keyboard and we're going to select Bluetooth. And then from here we go to the settings on the iPad. And then from here we are going to press pairing. So we press pairing. And then with the iPad, there you go. As on the iPad you can see PSR-SX900. We just press that on the iPad. And there we go. On the SX900 it says it's connected. It's connected to my iPad. So now what I'm going to do is go back to the iPad. The two devices are connected together. We're going to go to the iPad. And now basically what this does is that the PSR-SX900 are your speakers. So if you watch videos on YouTube or you're listening to music, all that will come out from the keyboard speakers. So I'm just going to go on YouTube and there's my channel. I'm just going to select any one of my videos. It doesn't matter what one. This is just going to be an example.
And the sound effects are nowhere to be
We'll just
seen.
turn that. There we go.
Another thing I want to show you. In order to get the sound effects on the keyboard, you have to put the
See, the video's audio is coming from the keyboard speakers. So we can do anything. We can like watch videos on YouTube and the audio comes out from the keyboard speakers, and the and also the when you're listening to music, again, the music will come out from the keyboard speakers. So it cuts the speakers from your iPad, iPhone or any other Bluetooth device. It cuts the speakers from those devices and will come out from the keyboard speakers.
Pose up to 24.
Or we'll watch another video. So there you go, the Bluetooth device, which is very useful. Yeah, the Bluetooth feature is a very useful feature so that you can pair your device with the keyboard and listen to music and watch videos, and the audio comes from the keyboard speakers. So there you go. And that is the Bluetooth connectivity, in which you can connect your devices such as your iPhone, iPad or any Android device to the keyboard. So the keyboard acts as your speakers. In other words, also acts as a wireless auxiliary output. Okay, so now the next thing I want to show you, and that is the multipad creator, in which we can make our own multipads. So we just go to menu here, menu page 2, and then we go to multipad creator, MIDI multipad recording, and we're going to select new. So we've got a new multipad. So we're going to at first we're going to do a couple of drum one shots. So we're going to select a drum kit. So we choose that one. So yeah, we'll do something like that. We're just going to do, at first, we're going to record number 1. Yeah, so we're just going to record that, just as a little one loop. So now we've got that multipad. And now we're going to record a second multipad. And we're going to do something like, yeah. So we just record that. and we can either choose to repeat them or not. So and now for one more, we're going to do a we're going to do a chord. So we're going to select our sound. Let's see. Maybe we'll do an organ sound. Just going to find a suitable organ sound. Yeah, it doesn't matter really which one I select. This is just an example of the multi-pad creator. And then we turn on the metronome this time. And then record our phrase. And now we've got our multi-pad phrase recorded. And yes, we're going to have that repeated. So okay. And now this one, we're going to do a chord match. So we have chord match on. So whatever chords I play with the left hand, it will match the chords. So once you're happy with everything, we just go to save, and I'm going to call this one MPad Creator example. So there we go, multi-pad creator example. Okay, and now our multi-pad is saved. Although you can do 4 multi-pads, I've done 3 for this example. Then we just go to the multi-pad, and there you go, that's our created multi-pad. So there you go, and that is the multi-pad creator, in which you can record and create your own multi-pads. Okay, so now the next thing I want to show you in relation to the multi-pad recording, and that is the multi-pad audio link. Now what I've done, with the multi-pad audio link, where you can add WAV files to your multi-pads. But what I did is that I recorded a couple of just a couple of quick performances on this keyboard, and I recorded it as a WAV file so that you can include it with the multi-pad buttons here. Before you record a WAV file yourself, so you don't just have to like use any WAV file. Well, you can, but you can also record your own WAV files and put it onto the multi-pad audio link. But before you do that, make sure you put the sample rate onto, I believe is 44.1 kilohertz, I think, and make sure the bit length is 16 bits. So I've already done that, and I've also put them on a USB stick. So now the USB stick is in my keyboard. So what I'm going to do is to go to menu, go to multi-pad creator, and instead go to multi-pad audio link. And that's telling me audio data cannot be linked to a MIDI multi-pad. Do you want to create a new audio link multi-pad bank? We say OK. and then we can choose full WAV files here. I've done 2 for this example. So here we go. We just go on to the USB, and then from here I renamed them on my computer. We have Audio Link Example 1 and Audio Link Example 2. So we're going to select this one. And now we've got this as our audio link. Okay, and now we're going to select number 2, and we're going to select Audio Link Example 2. So now we got our audio links with the multipad. So here's the first one. And here's the second one. So that's our WAV files by the audio link. So once you're happy with everything, we're going to go hit save here, and we're going to call this one, we're just going to call this one audio link example, because it's an example on how to put WAV files via multipad audio link. Oh, audio bank, I meant audio link example. Sorry about that. So there we go, audio link example. Okay, and now that's our multipad audio link saved. So we just go to, there we go, audio link example. So there's the first one. Oh, and another good thing is, I know that on previous keyboards you can only play one audio link bank at a time. But now you can play as many. Yeah, now you can play them all. So yeah, that's the first one. And here's the second one. And now we can play them together. I know they don't sound well together, but it's just an example that you can play more than one audio link bank on the multipads. So you can do it like play multiples at the same time. So like before, you can only play one multipad audio link at a time, but now you can play up to full. So there you go, and that is the multipad audio link, in which you can add WAV files to your multipads. And as I've said before, now you can play more than one at the same time. So that is multipad audio link. Okay, so now the last thing that I want to show you on this tutorial of the Yamaha PSR-SX900 keyboard, and that is to install expansion packs. Now, when you first buy the PSR-SX900 and SX700, we already have 4 pre-built expansion packs on this keyboard. We have the African pack, the Europe pack, Latin America and Oriental packs. That will come with the keyboard when you first buy it. Now, in order to install your expansion packs, before you can do that, we just go to menu, and menu page 2, and we're going to go to expansion, and we need to export the instrument info onto a USB stick. So that's what we'll be doing. So go to Export Instrument Info. It says Execute Exporting, connect a USB flash drive, which is what we've done. Starting, the operation will stop the playback of the song and other data. So we go to OK. And now it's exporting our instrument info onto a USB stick. Exporting has been completed. It has been saved as the file name, which will show up on your computer, to the root directory of the USB flash drive. So now we go out of that. And now we go onto our computer, put the USB stick in our computer and open up Yamaha Expansion Manager, in which we will use to install expansion packs on this keyboard. You can get expansion packs from www.yamahamusicsoft.com or any other websites you know that have expansion packs on there, and you can install them onto the keyboard. Now, unfortunately, just like with the Genos, unfortunately you can't install expansion packs wirelessly like you can on the Genos, because on the Genos, on the menu here, you have the Wi-Fi, in which you can connect your Wi-Fi and install expansion packs and export your instrument info wirelessly onto Expansion Manager. Okay, so now I'm going to go to Yamaha Expansion Manager. Okay, so now we're on our computer and we are on Yamaha Expansion Manager. And now, before you install expansion packs, go to, hopefully you can see it here. Yeah, as you can see, that's my Genos. And here we go to this arrow here, and we're going to select, yeah, with the install target, we're going to go to Import Instrument Info. Now make sure your USB stick is connected before, that's it. And then we have the PSR-SX900 instrument info. We're going to open that. And now it's importing the instrument's data. And there we go. We have on here PSR-SX900. So now it's just loading the instrument's data. And there we go. We're not going to choose all the expansion packs, so we're going to untick the ones we don't want. So there's most of the expansion packs here for like the Genos, just like this one, the Genos Superior pack. So for this example, so yeah, we are going to we're going to untick them. Some of them may take a bit of time. Yes, I didn't untick the Church and Christmas pack because that's one of the packs I will be installing for this example. I'm also going to install Eurodance and Entertainer packs. Now these are the expansion packs I had for my PSR-S970 when I had that keyboard, but I don't have that keyboard now because I've sold it along with my PSR-S670 to get the PSR-SX900. Okay, so we got the Entertainer pack ticked, the Eurodance ticked, and the Church and Christmas pack ticked. These are the expansion packs that I'm going to be installing on my PSR-SX900. So once you're happy with the packs that you want to install on your keyboard, we just go on the top right here, hopefully you can see the mouse, save as pack install. Yeah, save as pack install data. We're going to save it onto the USB stick, and then what that does, we're going to hit save. It says complete installation may not be possible if there's not enough space available, but I'm sure there is enough space on my USB stick. So we click OK, and then what that does is that it's installing the 3 packs I chose into one big pack. So Church and Christmas, Eurodance, and Entertainer packs will be saved as one whole pack. So depending on how many expansion packs you choose to install, this may be quick, or it might be it might be longer, depending on how many packs you choose. So it's now saving the pack installation file. At the moment it's making the pack. See, this can take some time. So yes, I think I will speed up the video on this point. And there you go, the pack installation file has been created. Formatting the installation of pack data on an instrument can take about 20 minutes. Please wait until formatting has finished before turning off the instrument. So, okay. So that's our expansion packs installed into one big pack onto a USB stick. And now we go back onto the PSR-SX900 and install it on the keyboard. Oh, and just another pointer. You do the same way of installing expansion packs. You the same thing how I did it. The same thing goes to the way to install expansion packs. You do it on the Tyros 5, the PSR-S770 and S775, PSR-S970 and S975, and the Genos, and also this PSR-SX900 and SX700. Okay, so now we're back on the keyboard, and we're going to install the expansion packs that we put on a USB stick via Yamaha Expansion Manager. So there's my USB stick, and I'm going to put that in the keyboard. There we go, USB device is connected. We're going to go back to menu, expansion, and this time we're going to select pack installation. So there you are, there's the PSR-SX900 pack install data, which has got Church and Christmas pack, Eurodance pack and Entertainer pack, all in one pack. So we're going to select that one, and it says here, save all the data currently being edited before starting. The data will be lost if you start installing without saving it. And also, any expansion packs that are on the keyboard already will be deleted and will be replaced with the pack you're about to install. So we're going to hit OK, and there we go, and it says here all the expansion contents will be deleted. Continue, and we just press OK. So as I said, any expansion packs that are already on the keyboard will be deleted and will be replaced with the pack you're about to install. So now it's executing. This might take some time depending on how many packs you got on the pack you're about to install. So it's just executing now. Okay, so we're nearly there. And there we go. There you go. It took a little bit longer than I thought, but here we go. Installation has been completed. The instrument will be restarted. So we press OK. And now the keyboard will be restarted. And there we go. And then we go to the expansion/user. And there's our packs: Eurodance, Entertainer, and Church and Christmas. Although it says S970 because I downloaded it for the PSR-S970. So here we have the Eurodance. Entertainer. And Church and Christmas. As well as some sounds from the packs. Entertainer. And Church and Christmas. So there you go. And that is how you install expansion packs on your Yamaha PSR-SX900 keyboard. You also do the same method when you want to install packs for your Tyros 5, PSR-S770 and S775, PSR-S970 and S975, and PSR-SX900. Okay, so this is now the end of this tutorial of the Yamaha PSR-SX900 keyboard. I do hope you have enjoyed this tutorial and that you have found it useful. And as you can see, on the SX900 there were some new features that were not found on Genos, such as Chord Looper, Bluetooth connectivity, and the style reset button. But ever since the new firmware for the Genos version 2.0 was launched, that was also in November last year. Yes, ever since that, the Genos now has Chord Looper and style reset. Yeah, the only thing that Genos doesn't have is the Bluetooth connectivity, which this keyboard has. But again, I do hope you've enjoyed this tutorial of this keyboard, so please do write back to me and tell me what you think. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.